Today, we will discuss the characters in Multras Anand's Two Lady Ramps. You can check the timestamps in the description box. First, let's start with the character of Jinder Ram. Lalla Jinder Ram is the protagonist of the short story Two Lady Ramps. He is a contractor by profession. However, Rams come from a humble background. His father is a small shopkeeper. As the son of a small shopkeeper, he does not possess lots of money. However, after marrying Sukhi, he received 1 lakh rupees as dowry. During the time of the British Raj, 1 lakh rupees was a large amount of money. Thus, we can assume that tying the knot with a rich woman opens up new opportunities for him. It helps Jinder Ram to establish himself as a contractor and climb the social ladder. In this way, he comes into contact with the white masters. Jinder Ram is a 5'5" obese contractor. As a contractor, Jinder Ram often negotiates with the ADC for deals. His call to the ADC for his problem reveals their relationship. Contrary to his expectations, the white officer thinks Jinder Ram calls him for some deal or contract as usual. Though the commission the Sahib had received from this night had always been generous, Captain Forbes had made his file and did not want to get involved in these shady negotiations anymore. It gives us a hint that both get benefits from their usual deals. Jinder Ram is good at both negotiation and tricks. He is a trickster. We see his act of trickery when he changes the name on the invitation card from Lady Ram to the Two Lady Ramps. It is an easy and usual act for him because he had altered many more intricate documents in the past. It means Jinder Ram has changed many intricate documents in the past for his selfish interest. Though he is a trickster, the government confers on him the title of knighthood. However, he does not have a similar position to an English master. When Jinder Ram wants to meet the governor, it reveals the ineffectiveness of the knighthood. Jinder Ram calls the ADC before the garden party to make an appointment with the governor. He wants him to resolve his domestic problem. Though Sir Jinder Ram is a knight, he has to make an appointment to meet the governor in person. When the ADC does not respond to his call, Ram goes to the governor's residence. At the gate of the governor's residence, the guard does not allow him to enter. So, despite having the title, he has no importance at all. Jinder Ram does not realize it because he wants to be like the white masters. Therefore, he can be called a mimic man. I have discussed this in the blog. The link is in the description box. Though he is a powerless knight, he dominates his 2 wives and servants in his house. He marries Sukhi not for love but for the dowry. Therefore, his remarriage reveals his fake love for Sukhi. Had he loved Sukhi, he would not have married Shakuntala just because Sukhi is infidel. He could have looked at it differently. Later, he marries 25-year-old Shakuntala with an excuse of procreation. After the marriage, he divides equally his house between his 2 wives and shares his time with them. However, he gives more attention to Shakuntala because she is younger and more beautiful than Sukhi. Therefore, Jinder Ram chooses Shakuntala to take her to the garden party. Sukhi comes to know about it and objects to his decision, and as a result, it makes him worried. In such a worrying situation, Jinder Ram's driver gives him the idea of taking both of his wives to the party. He accepts it without hesitation, but he does not express his gratitude to the driver for his idea. The reason is his relationship with the driver is like that of a master-servant relationship. When his driver proposes the solution to his problem, he could have appreciated him. Instead of appreciation, he forbids him not to intervene in his family matter and he silently accepts his idea. So far, we have discussed the following points. First, Jinder Ram is a dishonest man. Second, he is a trickster. And third, Jinder Ram is a powerless knight. After Jindaram, now we will discuss the character of Sukhi. Sukhi is the first wife of Jindaram. Sukhi comes from a rich family. She brings with her 1 lakh rupees as a dowry to Ram's house. Consequently, Sukhi gains prestige in the house, but she loses her prestige and status as the first wife after her husband's second marriage. From this, we get an idea of the practice of dowry in colonial India. We have discussed it in the blog. Sukhi is the less favored of the 2 wives. The probable reasons behind this are: first, she is a 50-year-old woman, and second, she is infertile. When they find she is childless, her husband marries Shakuntala. After his second marriage, Shakuntala becomes a favorite of Jindaram. It becomes a reason for jealousy in Sukhi. The jealousy takes an intense form when her servants inform her that her husband is going to the garden party with Shakuntala. Sukhi feels furious and powerless. Sukhi goes to the Shakuntala's room in the morning to accuse her. Her protest implies her assertion of her authority. Sukhi knows very well that if she does not go to the garden party, she will lose the reputation of being the elder wife of the master. Moreover, everyone in the house will look down on her. Therefore, she tries her best to maintain her authority as the elder wife in the house. At last, we will discuss the character of Shakuntala. Shakuntala is the second wife of Lalla Jindaram. Unlike Sukhi, Shakuntala is a young 25-year-old woman. Since there are 2 women in the house, therefore both of them often engage in cold wars with each other. Though there are fights between the 2 lady Rams, Shakuntala regards Sukhi as mother-in-law to some extent and has been respectful to her. She is a meek woman. We see her meekness when Sukhi comes to accuse her. Shakuntala does not respond to Sukhi in a similar vein. Unlike Sukhi, she meekly tells Sukhi to return to her room. However, it does not mean that she is passive. She is jealous of Sukhi. If she is submissive, she will not stay in sulk like Sukhi to attract the attention of her husband when the award of knighthood news reaches their ears. Both women insist on being called Lady Ram. Unlike Sukhi, we are not aware of the background of Shakuntala. Therefore, it raises one question in mind, and that is, why does a young woman marry an old and a married man? Shakuntala could have rejected Jindaram. From Sukhi's protest in the story, we come to know that she brings nothing from her home, whereas Sukhi brings 1 lakh rupees from her maternal home. It suggests that Shakuntala comes from a humble background. Therefore, marrying an old and a married man is probably a compulsion for her. For her, marrying a rich old man like Ram is an avenue to gain economic stability and climb the social ladder. So till now, we have discussed the following points: the character of Jindaram, the character of Sukhi, and the character of Shakuntala. Let me know whether or not you have understood the discussion. Thank you.